All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time.
Coach, this is the city, Los Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, D. Gonna be a long day, offense.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ahkello Witherspoon. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the Rams' 13-yard line.
Ready. 15 lining, 15 lining.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. They'll set up to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Yeah! 60 Pittsburgh! And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's get moving. Let's go!
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Rams' 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. This is caught. And he is out of bounds here. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw here. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. The first carry now. This is Johnson. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness. One cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
54 Mike. I got it.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. But it's brought in by Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
What's that? 55. Right there in the middle. 55. You ain't going nowhere.
On first down, it's Darnold. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Here we go again.
And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Darnold. He's going to launch it for Washington. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Ready up.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 42 yards.
1st down, San Francisco.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Robinson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. And from down in Miami, an update. The Dolphins, they're out to an early lead over the Bills. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Samson Ebukam in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop the throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Franklin. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Makes the score Niners 10, Rams nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
It's our time. It's our time.
Off of play action, Darnold going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Johnson. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Dancing to his left. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
At their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Samson Ebukam in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. The Niners on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Check 55, Mike. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready.
Darnold on first down. And the catch made by Johnson. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2.
We got this.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Darnold. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Check, 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 check. Young lady.
Now Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's get it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 43. And lady.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. From 13 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on, fellas.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll run here with Robinson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may...
That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 24-yard line.
Yeah.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tough...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell your guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Play action, it's Darnold. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the 50, it's Darnold. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
First down, 49ers.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They'll run it now with Robinson. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
This one hits at the 1, continues on into the...
At their own 20-yard line.
The after punting last time, see if
as they head to the field now with the game this close, you going on offense right now, but they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
That's the way. Check 24, check 24. Red 80.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Darnold now to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
First and 10 at the 60.
Darnold now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Johnson on the counter. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A nice job of just sticking the helmet down 9 yards on the play, but still 3rd and 12 now. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check 4, check 4.
They go to Johnson again. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Switch up, switch up.
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Ebukam in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
The 24-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And let's pin the mirrors back.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Boy, Charles, what a critical call in a tie game late.
You want to have the tight coverage. You don't want to cause the penalty. Pass interference in this case. Remember, it's a yardage foul in the NFL, a spot foul where it occurs.
Ready. 50 seconds, come on. Come, baby. Woo!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Sets up the screen to Robinson. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. It's complete to Robinson. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Toss play to Robinson. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 16-yard touchdown. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. They do tack on the extra point as well, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
Here we go. Here we go.
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for San Francisco, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for L.A., add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Time to bring the bass bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money, we aligned in. Tell me how they broke do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you make it make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates, how I deliver.